Welcome everyone, they call me Tech Out. Yeah, a surprise YouTube face reveal and content whiplash, I know.
I will make a first-person shooter in 10 days.
Wait, you've heard that before, right? Surely this is another YouTube guy claiming to make an amazing game in a short period of time, only to end up with a low-poly, textureless proof of concept, correct? Yeah, that is not my plan. I want to make a game with a campaign, okay? I want to make a game with cutscenes. I want to make a game with a big Uncharted-style set piece at the end with a boss battle on top. And I want to release it on PlayStation for all to enjoy. Now, is this ambitious? Yes it is. Am I slightly over-exaggerating and setting unrealistic expectations? What, are you new to YouTube or something? But okay, I'm technically not lying, that is really the plan. If you're new here, the reason why this is at all possible is Dreams. Dreams, if you didn't know, is a complete game engine on PlayStation 4 and 5 with built-in modeling software, built-in animation software, built-in music composing software, built-in programming software, and well, anything else you need to make legit games, but with a controller. Roll the montage. Okay, that's enough, let's move on. What will this game be about? Well, Dreams is running a game jam currently with the theme Let It Snow. And I saw it as a nice opportunity to make a sequel to one of the first FPS games I made in Dreams, called Conundrum. The premise was that a bunch of evil snowmen were wreaking havoc, and equipped with a rifle you take them head on as they throw snowballs at you. The game did not age particularly well. It had basically one level, animations were janky, hit feedback was below average, and difficulty was inconsistent. A sequel gives me the opportunity to prove how much I've grown my skills and hopefully blow people away despite the time limit. I came up with an elevator pitch quickly. In this new game, the snowmen would try to take over an airport and hijack Santa's plane. The game would have you fight through the subway connecting to the airport, then through the airport itself, and finally you would fight your way into Santa's cargo plane while it's taking off, fight a final boss on it and skydive a parachute out of it before it explodes, all live in gameplay as you have full control. Since this is a Christmas-themed game, I need to get it out before the end of second Christmas Day, which results in that 10-day deadline. Second Christmas Day, as it turned out, is only a thing in the Netherlands, but I did not know that. Before we can even start thinking about level design, let's get gameplay in order. Dreams is not just about making games, it's also about building game-making tools and sharing them with the community. I've made a public FPS template, for example, with so many mechanics I legit don't have the time to mention them all. This template allows me and anyone else who owns Dreams to make pretty much any kind of FPS game really quickly. Yep, any kind of FPS game. Pretty cool. So of course I'll use it as the base for this game. Now, as much as I would like to turn Cold Conundrum into another Doom Eternal clone like my last game, I felt it was only fair to stay true to the mechanics of the original Cold Conundrum, for better or, more likely, for worse. We'll have aim down sights, reloading, melee, slide, crouch, and that's it. To make my game somewhat stand out, I replaced the default gun that comes with the template with a community-made model. I'm sure it's a semi-auto, low-capacity rifle in real life, but for the sake of this game, it's a fully automatic Salt Blaster. I think I just heard Jonathan Ferguson's disappointment echo through the ether.
Oh, good lord. I may need to take a moment on this one.
I love making reload animations because they look like trash 90% of the time you're working on them until something clicks and it suddenly becomes satisfying. I do want to mention real quickly, you'll see some stream footage in the background sometimes because yeah, if you didn't know, I've been inconsistently streaming Dreams game development on Twitch for a couple months. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to watch these streams. I know the YouTube audience doesn't really care about Twitch for the most part, but who knows, I might see some of you if I end up streaming on YouTube sometime. On the first day of development, I also made the room where the intro cutscene is going to take place. The idea is that Santa was trying to figure out the snowman's next move, resulting in a mess of paper and of course, the classic red wire. Day 2, I wanted to get some enemies going so I'd have something to shoot. It just happens to be that I also released enemy AI templates in Dreams recently, so yoink! No point in creating all this stuff from scratch now, is there? The game will have 3 enemy types, a standard rifleman, a sniper and an enemy that chases you down. But how do we transform these bland puppet enemies into snowmen? Well, we simply search for snowman models because I really don't have the time to create them myself. I chose the same one I used last game and started adding and deleting some stuff to make it a bit more functional. I for example needed to make arms with an elbow joint. Then I literally just slammed it into the character, deleted the puppet and voila! We have a functional enemy. Let's appreciate for a moment how easy this is. No importing, never any errors or texture glitches, easy non-destructive customization in-engine. This is the future of game development. Of course I want all enemies to look different, so I changed the snowman model for each one. The chaser has a hunchback and the sniper enemy consists of 4 snowballs to separate them. My creativity knows no bounds. Ragdolls are simply separate snowballs that fall apart because of physics when spawned. Now in my Uncharted gameplay analysis you could hear me gush about Uncharted 2's hit feedback. I'll implement my exact learnings with a guaranteed enemy stagger on each hit, some blue blood splatter and pieces of snow flying around. Satisfaction achieved. I did want to make a pistol weapon as well, mainly as an excuse to make another reload animation, but that would come later. Day 2 I also started working on the subway level. Sometimes I like to draw out level design on paper, this time I winged it. I started by sculpting a tunnel shape, but quickly fell into the habit of improvising using community assets. Since I really don't have the time or skill to create anywhere near photoreal levels, lighting is the main tool I have to make my game look at least decent. In 30 minutes I had a first playable chunk of level. Day 3, 4, 5 and 6 were mostly about level design and environment art. I made the inside and outside of the airport separate levels so I'd have to optimize less. The outside of the airport really came together once I added a dense haze to the scene. It really feels wintry in the end. The inside of the airport started feeling right once I painted the floor red and adjusted the scale of the chairs. They were way too small at first. I love taking community assets and using them in unexpected ways. For example, I took someone's circular skyscraper, cut it in half and placed it horizontally to make the roof of the airport. In terms of gameplay, I polished up the enemies, gave the player a melee attack where they stab with a candy cane, and made a pistol with another reload animation. Proud of this one, I must say. I also painted the guns with a more festive appearance, like the original Cold Conundrum. Stupid easy to do in Dreams since the game doesn't use textures, or polygons for that matter. Day 6 I programmed all the combat encounters up until the end of level 3, the inside of the airport, making me really confident I had enough time for the final set piece level. Then Day 7 came around. Remember, I wanted a spectacular level where you chase a cargo plane with enemies on it, jump on board, have it dynamically take off during gameplay, then I wanted a boss fight inside the plane, and at the end you skydive out of it while it explodes. At first things went well. I just made a takeoff animation, spawned some enemies along the way and made the plane slowly decrease speed until it no longer moves when you get far away enough from the airport. But then I had to make the respawning work. It resulted in a ton of bugs, since my logic was of course an absolute mess and I had to manually reset every little thing that changes over the course of takeoff. The plane would somehow always manage to remember its speed from before you died and move way too fast on the runway. I spent literal hours fixing bugs and getting no further. By the time the first part of the plane sequence finally became stable, it was the end of Day 8. Day 9 I really started working hard. The final level was important of course, but I also finished up the first cutscene, made a main menu and added music to all the levels, which is something I haven't even talked about, but yeah, I just took some community made Christmas music and edited it here and there, changed some instruments here and there, and considered my job very much done. Boss battle time then. I took my grenade launcher enemy template, quickly put together a snowman commander model using some sunglasses and a tinted Christmas hat, and used the same process as the other enemies to get it to work. I increased his grenade launcher fire rate to once every 0.8 seconds and increased his health by 1200%. Hey, don't judge me, I just wanted to finish the game at this point. I made the final cutscene, made some plane explosion logic. Basically, to simulate the light from the explosion above as you jump out of the plane, I turned the sun to maximum brightness, turned it yellowish and move it to roughly its angle. I made some final credits as well and was, wait, done? The end of development always comes as a surprise to me. It's like you're in a seemingly endless tunnel, but you just keep your head down and eventually, suddenly and unexpectedly, you make it out. So, Day 10, I was ready to release the game, finish the challenge and tell you all about this amazing success story. Then the unthinkable happens. A bug in level 3 that made enemies stop shooting at the player. The last stable version of the level was apparently from 4 days ago. This bug could literally ruin the challenge and make me release this Christmas game definitively after Christmas. Luckily, I found a workaround. I still have no idea what caused the bug, but my best guess is the level is cursed, so I vowed to never touch the level again. So yes, on that evening of day 10, I released the game. After checking everything went right, I was just about to release my social media post and then my room went dark. The internet disappeared and my PC shut off. Yep, the electricity went out. No joke, my family downstairs was preparing a Christmas dinner and our gourmet set was apparently faulty and short-circuited on pressing the power button, resulting in the breaker tripping. It literally took over 2 hours before I could tell the world about the game's release. Did have a good dinner though, thank you very much. Let's bring this to a close. First of all, if you like this video, well, I would of course appreciate any likes and subscriptions. Being more favorable in the algorithm for a channel as small as mine can mean the difference between like 100 and 1,000 viewers. Second of all, what I really love about Dreams is that if you make something cool, you're pretty much guaranteed an audience. Gold Conundrum 2 has already been played by over 1,000 players and reached the #1 spot of most liked games of the month in the first 2 weeks. If you want to play the game yourself, well, the link is somewhere in the description or comments below. For anyone else, I'll roll some gameplay clips of the end result. So, well, thank you for watching. I'll see you around.
Once we've taken over the airport, world domination. No Christmas for you, no Christmas for anyone.